We are live from Talladega Super Speedway for more HSR money racing tonight. Looks like we will have 20 people exactly on the dot for the field here. Pull up some of these trucks. I'll pull up the starting grid that you all will see tonight. So first is Kenny Brandy. I believe that's a newcomer. Ian Martin second. Garrett Maines third. Dylan Alt fourth. Kenny Stanford fifth. Daryl Young at sixth. PJ Luttrell seventh. Eighth, Brian Buster. Ninth, Kevin Winker. 10th, Derek Raleigh. 11th, Kerry Whitaker. 12th, Trevor Keith, I believe that's a new driver also. 13th, Danny Eshelman. 14th, Christopher McLean. 15th, Nathan Harper. 16th, J.D. Larson. I believe that's a new racer also. 17th, Craig Harris. 18th, Braxton DeWeese. 19th, Andrew Santo. And 20th is William Bertine. He is a repeat driver here. So we see some familiar faces here tonight. So some drivers you know that you'll see come out very often here. But if you all are watching, this is streamed on Roku TV. Also, if you're watching it from that, if you don't mind, hopping over on the YouTube, subscribing to Ghost Racing Network. That, of course, what we are being ran through, streamed in 3 different places. So we've always got outlets for y'all to watch. I need to pull up something here very quickly, make sure that this is all being shown on my screen correctly. But tonight you're really going to see drivers working together. Leave payouts just a little bit smaller, as I will give them all a paint refresh. Is about to drop the bottle. Give them all a paint refresh just to make sure that their stuff is showing up correctly, because I know some drivers' paint schemes will not load correctly. I've had that happen multiple times where some drivers, he's like, what's with my paint scheme? And I'm like, I don't know what you mean by that. I believe the 12 is a new racer. I did not see him last night. William, he is familiar. Trevor Keith, I don't believe I saw him either. He might have had a different paint scheme if he was in here. Dylan Alt, do not remember seeing him race. Garrett Maines, he has raced here a couple of times. You see a Road to Pro driver also in front of him. That is Kenny Brandy, I believe. Yes, that is. Holy, that is a... Those two are very good drivers. That is for sure. 9,000, 7,000, 7,000 I rating. So, these guys are pretty good. That's for sure. As this will not want to pull up correctly. I'm having to basically manhandle it to get to work right. You think that when you put something up that it would work correctly, but right now it's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Kind of getting on my nerves right now. I'm trying to work it out. You're gonna have to see a lot of teamwork. Maybe that middle lane will come into play. It seems like it takes them just a little bit for that middle lane to really start showing its strength, but once it gets going, it really gets going here. 70 laps, I believe drivers will be able to go about 15 to 20 laps on their fuel, then they'll have to go back down pit road. So pit stops will also play a huge factor in this race, because you have to come down. There's no way that you're going to be able to stay out for the whole race. Last night we saw most of the race go green. Towards the end there was some wrecks that would happen. As hopefully this will continue to work, but it's deciding not to. That will be Kenny Brandy leading the green, Ian Martin second, Garrett Maines third, and the 42 of Dylan Alt. He will be on the outside of Garrett Maines. See, they have to wait forever after that pace car pulls off to even go. It's one thing about Talladega that can get very annoying. That long restart zone here. Go to the starter cam here. He has it in his hand. He wants to wave it, but he's got to wait just a little bit longer, getting really antsy with it for sure. Green flag is now in the air. He'll wait to wave it now. But we're underway at Talladega from more HSR and money racing. The 51's getting a good, or the one's getting a good shove from Garrett Maines behind. 98's getting a good shove from the 42. Got some very talented drivers. I'm surprised that we have people with this high buy rating in the race. Not expect to see that. See that 42 is trying to stay lined up with Ian Martin on his bumper as good as he can. Give him a straight bump whenever he can get it. 42's giving Ian a pretty good way. Ian's actually going to get out in front here. Garrett's trying to stay glued to that 41, which is the one this race. Middle lane already starting to show that they've got some stuff going on right now. They can really get it going. He's trying to fight outside the one. We might see a different leader lead this lap here. We'll just have to see how these guys go. Ian doesn't have the 42 glued to him. Neither does the 54. He has Garrett Maines kind of off his bumper a little bit. Coming through the tribal, we'll see who will lead this first lap. It looks like it will be... Oh, it looks like it will be Brady on the bottom. And maybe might have switched at just the last second. Not completely sure who led that first lap there. I had to guess at that point who led it. drivers being pretty calm. Currently the 4, and Rookie Bobby, stick and bake. Paint scheme. The 17 has a very nice paint scheme. I'll get that nice blue color on his. But up front, Ian Martin's getting away from him now. But the track is just so draft heavy. It's what super speedways are. You pretty much have to draft with somebody the whole entire time, because if you don't, you're not going very far. Or really anywhere. We got somebody around here. We got a yellow flag with William Breton, and only 2 laps in has crashed. What happened here? But he's up in the high line. Something must have happened. Looks like the 17 probably had a connection issue here, because he disappears. Net codes into the 64. William is very lucky. He does not get hit by any other driver. So caution will be brought out. William sustained very little damage, if any, that is. So he should be fine. He should be able to get back rolling here. I don't think he'll be in a hard spot, but only 3 laps in the race, we've got our first caution already. Looking at a clip, one of these dudes got absolutely destroyed from one of the high school games. Literally got his head taken off. We'll see drivers maybe come down pit road. I believe some of them will. Everybody's going to come down pit road to be on the same pit strategy. It'd be kind of weird to go off strategy, you know, this early in the race, but everybody will come down. So not a surprise there from these drivers. You know, you can really stay up. Expect William, he will take a little bit of a longer pit stop, fixing the optional that he does have. Don't think he would have much, if any, that is. Just have to find out. This we're off and away. He took really fuel only. You know, you don't really need to take anything besides that. Everybody's out and away here. As I need to keep a very watchful eye on some of this stuff, because I know that last time I did this, it looks like the 17's PC crashed. So that's what was the cause of the wreck. I was kind of confused. I kind of thought something happened there, because he kind of just disappeared, went out of nowhere, but it looks like his PC did have a connection issue. Kenny Brandy, he's going to continue to lead him up here. We'll roll some quick ads here. Driver's going to be getting the green this time by pretty much the same start As last, we got some drivers coming down pit road, topping off. Not a bad call from them, as I would do the same thing. If you do have the option to top off, might as well get up on fuel on these guys. See the 54, 31, 42, 4, 71. Biggest mover so far is Craig Harris. He's moved up 6 positions in 11th currently. Biggest loser right now is Ian Martin, but of course he just came back down pit road, topped off his fuel. But reason of that caution was Christopher McLean. He had a little bit of a connection issue. His PC crashed. That's why he disappeared for us at that time. Kind of curious where he went also. We do have different camera angles now here. I was able to find a pack that was made by somebody completely free. I'll have to do the backstretch cam here. So you get to see these trucks rolling by. Turns 3 and 4. Exit chopper is a little bit different. Blimp is a little bit different also. So just a little bit of a different chase for you guys to see here. We'll have to see these guys. Only one caution so far early on. Not something that we typically see here, but of course, connection issue was the main cause of that there. Hopefully 17 can get back in the race. He might not be able to make it back in, though. If he does, that will kind of be a wasted night for him. Hopefully he is able to get back in. I never want to see a driver have to leave a race early because of something like that, but very well might have to do that. Hopefully not. They'll be getting the green flag here. Come back to start finish line. 5 laps in. Hopefully won't see a caution for a long time. Most people came down pit road and topped off fuel. Some came back down again and got more fuel to add on to it. See a 31 and 54 waiting for that green flag to start waving before they can really do anything here. Still waiting. My keyboard lights up to show it's when it's green. It's green now. He's going to wait to go. 54 gets a good start also. 42 doesn't get a bad one, but it's just so draft heavy. It doesn't really matter if you get a bad start, really. Now, as I say that, if you lose the draft, then that completely changes everything at that point. But it looks like everybody's able to get a good start out and away. Everyone's either 2x2 or running that bottom lane. Running that bottom lane wouldn't be a bad choice. You're just really saving as much fuel as you can. They're going to try to make that outside lane work. It's Garrett Maines leading it. To the 4, that Ricky Bobby paint scheme, Wonder Bread. A 30 of Kenneth Stamper, the 24 PJ Luttrell's also trying to come in. You see that 11 of Brian Busted on the inside, also teammates. I believe we're missing one teammate here. I think that, I can't remember what number it is to be exact, though. I do know that they are missing one teammate. I think it's Trevor Oceanroth. That's who it was. They normally run with. The driver's been pretty calm so far. 2x2. You got that outside lanes definitely starting to show strength. 4 is shoved the 31 by eventually. 31's going to stay up in that top lane. He's going to let the 45 get 54 get back to his inside, so he's not going to be able to come down if he wanted to. Now he's got to wait a little bit longer to do that. Going to come down now from the 54. 54 is going to try to give him a good shove through the corner. Doesn't want to touch him in the corner. I saw a lot of drivers get turned around just from incidental contact. See the 48. That's a very colorful paint scheme. That's Trevor Keith. I'm surprised that paint scheme is that. It's like red and blue. Really sticks out here. That 4 Wonder Bread paint scheme is trying to work that top lane. Not really working to his advantage just yet. Kind of needs some more help behind him. He's got Kenneth Stamper, PJ, Kerry Whitaker, and Denny Eshelman. But he just needs a little bit more help to get it going, as we have Garrett Maines, Kenny Brandy, Dylan all lined up on that bottom lane. 48's got to watch. He came up just a little bit. I saw a lot of drivers make contact with each other. Kind of an accidental thing. Malintent from drivers that do that. The 54 looks on the 31, maybe just trying to maybe get some clean air, but that 4 is getting a shove from the 30 now down the back stretch, but that 54 is going to lay it to the 31 and give him a good shove also, so those shoves might even out, but the outside lane has a little bit more of a run. Coming down the back stretch, we're going to lose it in the corner. It seems like they lose speed in the corner now in the straight. That's when they can really gain it. They've been pretty steady with their moves. Nobody's really come up into each other besides the 17 having that connection issue, like I said earlier. Taking out a truck, William Breton, he had a little bit of damage, but luckily it wasn't too bad for him. We got a caution on the track. We have J.D. Larson has went off. That's another caution here. What has happened here? So it must have been a wreck. Ian Martin has, who has crashed here? So it says there was a wreck up front. So looks like it was the 16 start up here with him. What happened here? Looks like the 5 just hooked the 16 into the wall. Harper barely makes it through. Winker has nowhere to go. Ian has, the 16 just kind of keeps on spinning right up into Ian's pass. So drivers probably going to have to use their fast repair early on. We're only, not even 10 laps in. 2 cautions so far just to hook by the 5 of Craig Harris. Just hooked the 19. Putting it into the walls. I didn't hear the caution. I didn't really expect the caution there. To be honest with you, it's kind of out of nowhere. Yeah, we'll plug up something so I can monitor everything that's going on to make sure that it is working correctly here. I'll say probably everybody else is going to come down pit road again. Top off on fuel. I mean, it's caution, so you don't lose anything. You can go to the back. That's just what I would do. I believe it will probably be an EOL for the 5 of Craig Harris. Ian, he's still able to run, but his engine's going to expire here. Danny Eshelman, he's got an injured truck also. Looks like Braxton is giving Kevin Winker Andrew's giving Kevin Winker a shove, so courtesy being displayed by those 2 drivers there. You can see him giving a little bit of a bump every now and then, so it looks like Winker's engine is probably gone. If I had to guess, we'll go cockpit with him. Probably has gone kaboom on him. Nope, it's still working, just might just be barely running, if that. Yeah, it looks like it's running very poorly. But everybody comes down pit road. Not a surprise. Not surprised one bit that everybody came down. That's what you normally see. It's under caution, so it can't hurt you. I believe we'll see Winker. It looks like Winker doesn't have any damage, though, so he might not have any. He might just been... Luckily, he might have net-coded through all of that here. Pit lane camera. See, everybody exit pit road. Ian's probably have to use his fast repair here. Yep, he uses his fast repair. Gets a brand new truck because he had his front end smashed in, so he had basically no other choice of using his fast repair. He's kind of forced to use it there. But Garrett Maines, he comes out first. Brandy second, Dylan all thirds. Pretty much the same top 3 as the running order was at that point. You got J.D. Larson, Derek Raleigh, Ian Martin, and Braxton DeWeese are all sitting in pit road, maybe just waiting for more fuel. We'll see who comes down pit road and tops off, because we have had drivers do that here. It would not be a bad call either. I would be someone who would do that also if I was them. Christopher McLean, he still has not been able to reconnect because PC just decided to die on him. I don't know how that feels, man. I need to get in this Discord. There it is. I'm trying to find it. Make sure I'm in the right one, so in case anybody needs to tell me anything, I can easily see it, as I don't get notifications when I stream on Discord, because it goes in streamer mode. It decides to cut off everything, so I have no idea when people message me half the time. Sometimes I'll catch it, sometimes I won't catch it. As it looks like something. At the same time, you know, while they're under caution, I'm watching these Steelers and Jaguars play. I'm a Steelers fan, seeing what's happened here. Looks like somebody just made a really good catch. As I don't know how it was a good catch, but that was kind of weird. But all right, I'll take it. So looks like Derek might be coming up through the pack here. We might have somebody coming to top off if pit road is open. Looks like Winker may be doing it. No, it looks like pit road probably was closed if I had to guess. I think, nope, Winker is coming down pit road. So it was not closed. Him and Andrew come down, topping off on fuel. You can get tires if you wanted, but of course you don't need to. That'd kind of be a weird decision to top off. Now, if you are new here, if you don't mind throwing in a subscription to Ghost Racing Network on YouTube. If you're watching this on Roku TV, if you don't mind hopping over on YouTube also and subscribing to the channel, that'll help us grow. Trying to hit 100 by the end of the month. We are at, I believe, 173 by the last time I checked. It very well could have gone up more. I stream every single day. I do not do live stuff on Roku is the thing. It's only somebody had a opening tonight. They were not able to make it, so, you know, I took their spot instead of that. can't remember who it was that wasn't able to, but I saw it, jumped at the opportunity. Luckily, I was able to get it in time. It looks like we might have more stuff here. Looks like they were just talking about some people that they had to deal with. There are some crazy people for sure. I do know that. And I wonder what's going through their heads half the time. Check how many subscribers we have right now. I believe it's still 173. That's not updated on my end, so it could very well be more. Let me check again. That's home. Right, yeah, still at 173 here. The growth that we've had is definitely slowed down, but the real reason behind that is because I haven't been able to pick up anything new. Been drawn from the same crowd. Being a one-man crew is not fun sometimes. It's definitely a little difficult. Let's see. So we had Winker, Andrew, Braxton, and Ian Martin all came down on lap 10 to top off on their field. So they'll have probably about a lap or two extra on these guys that stayed out or didn't come back down to top off. But pace cars want to pull off the track here. They get to start checker flag. It will be, or start finish line. It will be green flag. 2 cautions so far. Only 11 laps in. Not typical. Just the accidents that are happening here. 31's going to lead him to green. 54 on his outside. 42, 4, 24, 30, 23, 71, 4, 11, 64, 19, 48, 5, 21. I'm trying to remember all these car names. Everybody is off and away pretty smoothly right here. The 42 is going to try to give Garrett Maines a shove because Garrett might have been laying back waiting for that shove that he's going to get from him. I think that he was waiting for that. So he'll go right by the 54. 54 will probably stay from that top lane. He'll get some help from the 4, hopefully. Everybody's going to maybe run that bottom. Some are going to run the top. That top you can run. So it does seem to have some magic here. Really wouldn't think that it does, but it does, and it's kind of cool to see it because you don't need as many vehicles up there with you to be able to make as much of an impact on that bottom lane than anything else. Maines is going. Looks like he goes up to the top lane with the 42. I believe they hop back down, so those two are just pretty much mirroring each other how they drive currently. 54 has no help besides the 4. 4 has no help behind him, so really 2 cars on the outside lane. They're going to need some more people with them if they want to be able to do anything. They're hanging tough for sure. That 1, which is actually 54 this race, and that 4 are making it work just a little bit. They're losing spots, but it's not as fast. Like we got moving up here. 30 tries to go up in front of 54. So that 31 and that 42 have been switching lanes. They decided to go up to that top lane. That 42 is not going to be able to come down to the bottom if he wants to now. Garrett, we'll see if he'll block the run that Kenneth Stamper is getting. He's going to go back down. Sees that he's getting too much of a run. Goes back down, almost into the 42 goes Kenneth. But that 42 is going to get a shove from the 54 now, so he might go to the lead here very quickly. 42, he's maybe clear of Maines. Not now. He's not clear. He could have been very close to being clear. He's just there. I don't know if you want to cut down and risk making that much of an aggressive move because Maines has definitely been fighting. He's holding a very steady line. You can see he's not moving around very much on that bottom when he is in that lane. Shove from the 54. So these drivers know how to give each other a shove, keep themselves competitive with it. These 3 of these guys are road to pro drivers, and no one of them is actually world class. 2 of them are world class drivers, so he got some talent in this race for sure. I can't remember if it was Garrett or Jason Maines that I saw run the eNASCAR at Watkins Glen. I believe it was Garrett, and I know he got turned, and that was kind of dirty thing that I saw. I was like, man, someone just turned Garrett, flat out dumped him. He's probably not too happy with that. I cannot wait till they get done with Watkins Glen because I am horrible at that track. I am terrible at road courses. We will go on board with the 11 Brian Bussard here for a quick 2 laps. going to choose to go on board for one lap so y'all can get a little bit more of the action up here. It's a 42, the 31, the 54 all kind of just swapping positions right now. One goes ahead, and the other goes ahead. They get a good shove. 42 has got that 54 glued to his bumper right now. So they're definitely giving each other shoves. Maines is not giving that much of a shove from... Oh, the 54 just cuts down in front of Garrett Maines. Did not know if he was going to make that in time, but he luckily did. Very close. He's leading that middle lane now. I don't know if he has the speed just for it, but they do have some numbers with him. You see Andrew's working on the outside of these guys. Might want to tuck behind the 14 of Nathan Harper. I believe he will, because running that higher line is not going to help him for sure. He's got Winker trying to give him a shove. So they're trying to make something work here. It's working a little bit for Andrew. They're put 3 wide now, 24 on the bottom. That's PJ Luttrell. 14 Nathan Harper is in the middle. I believe it would be better to tuck in behind, but they're trying to make that high line work, and they're making it work just a little bit to their advantage here. Got a little bit of movement in the inside lane from these guys. We have the 54. He jumps up in front of the 4. Andrew's moving around, too. He's getting a little bit of a bump from Winker. These guys have a huge run on the outside. Looks like you've only got 3 trucks, but this outside lane is working for Andrew. He might go to the lead here before he comes off the corner. It's going to be a guess. So he's going to lose it just a little bit. Driver's got to be careful with holding a perfect line, because if you make any small movement, that can really send you up into some driver and completely end somebody's race. Andrew is making it currently work. Surprised he is, though. 5 hops up, almost puts William into the wall. Winker's trying to get to the outside of Andrew. We were going to see somebody in the wall there. Andrew's having some connection issues. That's why you see that camera freaking out every now and then. Looks like he's been told, and he's going to go to the back of this pack. That 54, he's continued to stretch it out over these guys. He's gotten a 42. Working with him behind. The 4 has got the 71. Trying to work with him the best that he can. Andrew. He goes all the way to the back of this, as he was probably told to by Taryn, as he's being race controlled tonight. Kerry looks like he might want to go to the back. You can see him off the corner, but he decides to stay tucked in line there. I think he was thinking about going to the back and decided, I don't want to go to the back just yet. This is still streaming correctly. Just want to make sure everything is going right. I'm always having to check stuff to make sure that the stream has not stopped somewhere, because when it does stop, I get no notifications of it. I know Braxton Deluse's fan page is in here. He's kind of running in the back, not really moved any position. These guys haven't moved up, but you really kind of don't have to here. You can kind of run in the back if you want to. Save your fast spare. Because if the big one does happen, you will have ample time to avoid it. And I think that's what these guys back here may be doing. Got somebody moving up in this spot to that top lane for a little bit and decided not to. See, pretty much everybody's running a train on the bottom currently. Nobody's really moved off of it just yet. I've just been like, man, I'm just going to stay on the bottom. This is where I feel comfortable currently. And I wouldn't blame them either. If you're making something work, might as well make it work. Looks like they're trying to break up the draft here a little bit. Maybe they're going to hop up to that middle lane. Not sure. It might be a call by them. Might want to try to let some people by them, possibly. The Kenneth Stamper, he's getting a good run down the back stretch. He's got Kerry Whitaker and Nathan Harper with him, but it looks like something may have happened here. It might have not caught it. They have all kind of broken up into these little small packs. I'm not completely sure, though. We'll have to see what happens here. Might be a call from these guys to just, let's run the middle lane now. Let's let these guys go by us, get equal on fuel, because they were running up front for a good amount of time. So that may have been a call to let those guys in. That was probably it. I believe what happened there was the 42 was in front of Garrett Maines. He slowed down, let the 54 in line, so probably a call made by those guys to, let's say, hey, we're tired of running the top. We're going to get down on the bottom. We're burning off some more fuel. There was almost contact between the 71 and the 5. Oh, they could have went up into each other there. But probably calculated move from the 54, 42, and the 31. They're going to go 3 wide now. The 5's going to go to the outside. Carey's going to be put 3 wide now, or sorry, 2 wide. It's really Nathan and Carey. They need to get down to the bottom. They can come down in front of Kenneth Stamp. Oh, we got the 12 into the wall. He comes back down the traffic, collects the 24 and the 48. That should bring out a caution anytime soon. Braxton might have gotten into it, as that is not a caution. I do not know how that is not a caution, but it is not. So they stay green here. It's going to be like a 4 or 5 truck breakaway now. We'll see what 54 and the 30 can do. They'll have to probably get some help from Garrett and Dylan whenever they can catch up to them. But I'm surprised no caution. And there's the caution. That was a very late caution flag that was thrown. Let's see what happened here. So I know it starts up front with the 12. Let's see where the 12 is here, of J.D. Larson. I know that's where action happens. I believe he gets put in the wall by, so it looks like William. Oh, looks like the 12 goes down. William also goes down. 12 clips the 30. See who else he gets. He gets the 24 in, and also the 48 has pretty much nowhere to go. The 48's probably on the brakes, trying to slow down as best as he can. He gets into it, and it looks like Garrett Maines, looks like he hits somebody in the front, but looks like he doesn't get too much damage. You can see his front end's dented in just a little bit. Let's see what happens down here. The 42's dirt tracking through the grass. The 24 comes down in front of DeWeese. DeWeese has nowhere to go. Hard contact for him. But drivers will come down pit road. Some will have to use their fast repair. I'm not going to be too happy about that. Looks like DeWeese already used his fast repair. I think he pretty much had to at that point. But 24 laps in, 3 cautions so far. It's a little bit more cautions than we know we're used to seeing for sure here at HSR. They normally go. I say, well, actually, there's some races where there are cautions, but really not many. As I'm looking at something. Well, these guys will probably go down pit road. Don't see anybody staying out. They can all stay on the exact same cycle here. As I have no idea how he just found that. But he did. As I managed to over-torque a bolt on my car. Snapped the stud off. Couldn't find the part anywhere. Somebody found it for me online. But everybody will come down pit road. I should assume that. Braxton DeWeese is a lap down currently because he had to take that fast repair. PJ, I think he may have used his fast repair earlier. He still is sitting in pits. We'll have to see for sure. He's sitting in here for a lot longer. Barry Whitaker's off and away. So is Nathan Harper. So some drivers taking tires here. I'm surprised by that. I mean, it's under caution. You might as well take tires if you got the chance. It can't hurt you. Might as well just do it. Let's see, Kerry Whitaker's going to come out first. Biggest mover so far is William Breton. He is up 17 positions after getting into that wreck earlier that he pretty much had nowhere to go. 17's computer shut off and it went up into him. Hopefully y'all cannot hear the vicious clicking of my keyboard. It's way too loud for this. So I don't know why I made it that loud. But I did. I have no idea. See the little tippy tappies of my keyboard. But we will go on a quick commercial while these guys are pacing under caution. So driver's going to be coming to get the green here. 3 cautions, 26 laps in. Drivers are 9 laps away from reaching the halfway point here at Talladega in the HSR Money Racing. Looks like that was kind of an issue with something up there. The 64 looks like he was going to the bottom. I think the 12 had other ideas and decided, I don't want to go to the bottom. He went into the wall. Sadly for him, you don't ever want to see anybody go headfirst in the wall because that's a pretty vicious impact for them. Oh, Lord. Excuse me. It'll be Kerry Whitaker. He'll lead him back to green here when they get to start-finish line. 14 to his outside. That's Nathan Harper. The 30 of Kenneth Stamper behind him. 42 of Dylan Alt is currently sitting in that 4th position there. 54, which is the one this race. That is Brady. He's going to be lined up behind the 30 of Kenneth Stamper. We'll see where Garrett Maines is. They'd have some drivers come down and top off. That was Ian, Darrell, Andrew, and William came down. Braxton, I believe he is 1 lap down currently. Drivers have to wait what feels like forever to get the green flag here. Still got to wait for it. Entering the Geico restart zone. It is now in the air. They can choose to go. Kenneth leads them to green. Everybody else off and underway pretty steadily. I know we're going to have some drivers hoping for a quick caution to get back on the lead lap. Hopefully they can avoid it if the wreck does happen. We see Garrett Maines. He's kind of the straggler here. He has some front end damage. He decided not to fix it. Doesn't look like it is too terrible. Now, if he does have engine damage, and he is going to definitely feel it, but I don't think he does. Doesn't look like it was too hard of a hit. You see Nathan Harper's getting a shove from the 42. Harper goes down in front of Kerry Whitaker. The 42 is going to have the 71 of Derek Riley come and try to shove him to the lead. Alt's losing some time, so not working out for him just yet. He's trying to get it to work the best that he can. Excuse me. See Derek, looks like he tried to go down, couldn't get down back in time. Saw him bail out. The flames come out of his tailpipes. He had to get fully out of the throttle. Almost got in the wall there. You got to be careful with doing that. As what is on the hood of the 12? What is that on his hood? I'm kind of curious now. What does the 12 have on his hood there? That is J.D. Larson. We will go from a rear chase, just so I can see, because I know I'm curious. Oh, looks like it is somebody. Looks like that might be an album cover. I was just curious to see what that was. I didn't know what it was exactly. 42 is making a move down to the bottom. Hops down in front of Nathan Harper. They got Kerry Whitaker in the bottom lane. Now it's going to Kevin Winker's turn to lead that top lane to see if he can get that going up there for him. The 11's got to watch. He can't get too far off. For 54 will get under him and get him out of the way. Drivers will kind of hang each other out to drives. That's something that I know will drive some people insane. Like, why would you do that? And I was like, well, you should have came off the bottom. I can definitely get on some people's nerves for sure. But they pretty much all gone to the bottom at this point. Nobody really wants to work with each other. Kind of surprised by that. If I'm being completely honest with you. Excuse me. You got him going 3 wide now. It's the 54 and the 31 and the 24. You got guys deciding to go 3 wide on each other. Go back here to the 54. He's got Garrett Maines behind him. He's trying to make it work. He's getting it working just a little bit, not too terribly. You've got somebody who looks like a drastic lane change there. The 54 is going to get it laid to him by the 31. He's going to say, hey, man, shove me. I know you can shove me. You know, you're a good driver. I can trust you. Don't have to worry about getting turned. I believe Garrett Maines is a NASCAR driver. Not sure which team he races for, but he does race in the Coca-Cola series. But still, they're sponsored by. The 54 has gone to the front from the 31, so these guys have definitely been working with each other. They definitely race around each other. They know how each other drives. As I'm trying to think of that name. That name sounds familiar to me, but I can't pinpoint where it's from. Kenny Brady. Have I saw him somewhere too? Don't know. I can't really tell. I'm thinking I do, but I don't know at the same time. Do not want to jump the gun on thinking these guys are from something that they aren't. There's still 3 right now. It's the 54, 31, 24, and 11 all running that high line. There's only 2 trucks in the middle, which is the 13 of Kevin Winker and the 42 of Dylan Alt. They're making it work, though, being in that middle lane. Surprised they're able to hold as tough as they are right now. With them normally, you see that middle lane with this amount of trucks, they kind of just need to lay over. They wouldn't be able to really do anything. And that, though, the 54 is moving off the bump for the 31. Garrett giving him all he can get. Almost turns him there. You saw him get sideways. I guarantee you, he heard those tires pick up, and he was like, oh, no, this is not good. Luckily, Garrett realized that. Saw his truck go sideways, bailed off him, let him get his tires back under him. You never want to see that happen. You know, if you're in the driver's seat of a vehicle, you don't want to hear that engine suddenly get a little bit louder out of nowhere, because that means your rear tires are not connected to the ground. Looks like the 31 hops down right in front of the 42, so these guys are going to try to work together. We got the 14 around now. Oh, hard contact. 42 gets involved. They're wrecking now. 24 is on his roof. The 14's in it. The 30, the 19. I believe the 48 got some more damage. Andrew's got some damage. Hard contact for those drivers. Have to see. I'm way too far back in this. It says Braxton got into this somehow. I don't believe he did. I believe he just came to a complete stop here. Yes, he did. So Braxton DeWeese makes it through. We'll have to see what happened up here. Started with Nathan Harper in the 14 on the bottom. Looks like he probably got hooked by Kerry Whitaker. Yes, he did. He comes off the bottom just a little bit. Kerry gets up under him. Yep, they get hooked right there. I need to slow that down. I don't know why that sped up so fast out of nowhere. See, he gets hooked by the 31. Nobody has nowhere to go. Garrett Maines tries to sneak by. 23 hits the 30, slams the side of the 42, goes into wall. 24, hard contact. Andrew, hard contact also. 24 is flipping at that point. I believe the 40 actually makes it through the 12, right into the 14. The 5, I think he net codes through all of that, luckily, so he'll be thankful for net code for once in his life. Oh, the 48 almost makes it through, hits the 30 on the bottom. Andrew had damage also. The 24 is still flipping on his roof. See some drivers in the back. They're just like, I'm just going to come to a complete stop now. I don't want to get in this anymore, but will trigger drivers to come down pit road here, top off on fuel. So thank you for clearing that up. I knew it was something like that. I just couldn't think of who he drives for. Elliott Sadler Esports. Thank you for clearing that up, Chris. Looks like some drivers have to use their crash repair. I believe the wave around should be Brax. Actually, he's going to get the lucky dog here. Everybody came down pit road besides. Oh, looks like. Sorry, these guys are still on track. It's just not showing them for some odd reason. I was looking at the pit lane cam. That's probably why. Andrew smokes the tires getting in. Might want to change tires there, bud, because he just kind of blew the rubber right off of him. Got in there a little too deep there, bud. A little too deep there. Believe it should be the 54. He will get the lead here. lap 35 of 70. Drivers just hit the halfway point of this race. 4 cautions so far, some more cautions than we would normally see here. Some drivers are in pit road to top off. That is Braxton and Andrew. I believe Kenneth, Trevor, Keith, JD Larson, and PJ Luttrell. I believe they have no fast repair left because they've been sitting in pit road for the past 4 minutes at this point. So I think their night is pretty much over for them, sadly. We never want to see any drivers night in like that. But if y'all are new here, if you don't mind subscribing to Ghost Racing Network on YouTube, if you're watching this on Roku TV, go over to YouTube and look up Ghost Racing Network. Throw in a subscription if you feel like it. You can always take it back if you want to. I'm trying to do a shameless plug here. But I don't normally stream on Roku TV. Tonight they did have an opening because one broadcaster was not able to make it. So, of course, I jumped at that opportunity when I read the message, and I was lucky enough to get it. HSR, I think this is their second race that will be on Roku TV. I do stream every single night on YouTube if y'all are bored and want to watch some racing tomorrow. I believe HSR will be doing another race. It'll probably be Talladega. It might be Daytona. They might decide to switch it up, but they'll have another one tomorrow. But pace car is going to pull off. They will go green this time by 54, 31, 11, 42, 5, 64, 71, 19, and the 4. Yes, I think I got that right. No, I got that wrong. Did I get that right? No, 98. That'd be Ian Martin. I'm trying to name all these trucks. Gotta wait forever at Talladega to get that green flag again. It's in the air now. The 54 gets a little bit of a wiggle, so might have some older tires there. You saw him. His back end kind of kick out, just trying to put all the power down. Looks like we might have a checkup on that top lane. The 64 does not get going very well. It may have happened there. Somebody might have not got going as well as they thought that they would. 42 gets right up on the bumper of the 54, trying to give him a shove. More aero than anything. They're all going to run that bottom lane at this point. I don't see anybody really running that top. Might have had something happen back here as where is Braxton? Oh, there he is. The 4 is deciding to go all the way to the back. Kevin Winker's on the outside. Braxton will actually go help Kevin. Surprised that he would do that. These guys probably just want to run in a straight line currently to maximize their fuel mileage. Right now in the race, I believe they'll come back down pit road, maybe lap 50-ish. I actually think they can only really, I think they can really two-stop this race from this point on. Know that the 54 would have a little bit more of a harder time doing that if he does, knowing that he's leading this pack. We burn off a little bit more fuel, pulling these guys with him. As I have way too many screens pulled up here. I'm surprised Google is not deciding to chew through my RAM. The 5's going to go to the outside. Looks like he's going to try to get past the... Nope, he's not going to try it. I thought he was for a minute. Craig Harris. I thought he was going to look to the outside of Garrett Maines. Just doesn't do that. Definitely gave him a look, though, saying, hey, man, I'm right here. You can't forget about me just yet. 5 has a little bit of damage from bump drafting people. It's like everybody has a little bit of damage either on their front end or their rear end from getting hit or trying to bump the guy in front of them. That's what you kind of have to do at these tracks. You can get away with bumping for a little bit. Now there's a difference between bumping and dumping somebody, as that has been shown. 13 trying to get to the outside. He might want to tuck in behind 11 because he has nobody for help behind him if he does get past 11. Looks like he will. I'm surprised that he's doing this, though. As if I was him, I'd normally be making the choice to say, hey, there's really no point in me being up here, I'd say. It's like as soon as I'm saying that, I think he took my advice on it. He goes back down behind those guys, decides like, I don't want to be behind you, or I don't want to be trying to pass you. Hmm. Still trying to make it work here. So he's this. Yeah, he's trying. I don't know what he's doing on the outside, but he's making it work. He's of course got nobody with, so it's going to really slow these guys down. They're going to maybe lose touch of the 5 here if they're not very careful. I think Derek's trying to chase him up the track and side draft as best as he can. like, oh, looks like the 13 of Winker will have help finally from Braxton. Holy crap, he's got a huge run out of nowhere. You can just see that speed difference he got. Looks like he turned on the rocket boosters. Might want to check him if he put some jet fuel in his vehicle there. 5 comes up. I think he sees that. Wants to go up to that top lane now. We'll see if any of these guys on the bottom go. I don't think they will. See if Derek sees the speed that they're doing. Yep, looks like Derek's going to, oh, he's going to venture up and go right back down. Decides not to hop up in that lane with them. Excuse me. It's really become a 15-car race now tonight. Had a little bit less than what they normally do. Kind of surprised by that. But did have enough to make the race. Taryn puts the cutoff at 15 minimum drivers, normally averaging about 22 to 25 most of the races here. HSR. See the 5, he's trying to go to the front off the bump for the 13. 13's giving him a good shove. I think he'll get it now. He's going to have to hope he can hold him off just a little bit longer. I think he might want to get down in front of that 54 if he has a chance. The 54 has been really strong this whole race so far. He's going to try to hope that Winker can give him a good shove. Pretty even throughout everything currently, though. Looks like Deweese. He decides, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to decide to bail out. Oh, the 5's got to be careful with making that moves, but they've lost a guy on that top lane. I believe they lost Derek. I think he realized that this isn't really working out for me currently, so I'm going to go tuck behind these guys that are on the bottom. Looks like Garrett's going to come up and side draft those guys, stall out their run the best that he can. Doesn't want them to get too far away from him. As Winker hops down in front of Derek to see what the 5 does. The 5 will have to get down in front. I believe the 71. No, he just squeezed in front of the 71 of Derek. That was awfully close. As Caleb, I believe this race, I'll have to see how the payout is. Hold on. Not completely sure. I believe it may be top 5 this race. I'm not. Off the top of my head, I don't exactly know. But these 3 pro drivers, they've just been running that bottom. They've been really nose to tail when they get together. I think they all find each other and like, yeah, we can just shove each other by this point. They don't really want to have to deal with anything too drastic. I think they're fine running like this currently. Literally everybody is running that bottom, so they decided. Now this is often way to stretch fuel. Andrews is kind of the last straggler here. Looks like Braxton. Something must have happened to Braxton DeWeese here because he is very, very far back. So he's got to hope for a caution. I don't know what exactly could have happened to him. Kind of confused by myself. 5. Oh, he's trying to get a run. He's trying to get to the quarter panel of 13. That might not be a good move by the 5 if nobody goes with him. Derek thought about going with him, decided not to. Oh, he's looking. You can see him thinking. He's like, oh, do I go upside? Do I go inside? Do I go outside? Do I go inside? He's definitely giving it some thought. He's just not completely sure what he should do here. Looks like JD just said something in the Discord here. He's like, man, that was my first broadcaster race. Good luck to the rest of you guys. See, he is in pit road. He's got to do his 30 minutes of repairs, but he's already decided to leave the race here. 5 and the 71. That 71 does not want to let that 5 go. I think he's tired of him trying to do that. He tries to get to the outside of him. The 71's like, oh, I'm going to chase you up the track now and side draft you. I think he's getting a little bit annoyed by him. Don't blame him. There's some drivers that annoy me in some races. I'm like, all right, I'm going to side draft you, not let you get by me. It's like Ian's trying that outside. He might have gotten moved up out of that lane, though. Nope, he's going to have these 64 William Bertin. He hasn't Williams been lucky, has not had to use his fast repair this race. Gotten into that wreck early. You can see it's really only side damage. The 17 had a connection issue. PC crashed, so it kind of just disappeared out of nowhere. Pretty much everybody running in a straight line at this point. Everybody just running one line. This is what can be fun about super speedway. Sometimes boring. As I'm not a huge fan of super speedways, so go ahead and admit that. I think that it's kind of like everybody just lines up in a line. We're like, all right, time to draft each other. You're not going to get away from me to save your life. You cannot stand that in real life, as you do have a fun track coming up tomorrow at Watkins Glen. Kyle Larson won the Xfinity Series race. So I was watching that at work. Know that tomorrow they will have a lot of Formula One drivers that are either retired or maybe still racing. They'll have some other European drivers. A lot of guys showing out for that race. I know Kimi Räikkönen is going to be one of the Formula drivers, as he has raced in NASCAR before. He gave the Truck Series a try. I believe the road course will probably suit him just a little bit better, knowing that he doesn't have to be an oval. I think he's more used to road courses, as they run that a lot in Formula One. Not many ovals there. As you know, side note, kind of branching off into F1. No, they had how they have put the ovals, or not the ovals, the halos on their vehicles years before they put that on. I always wonder, why don't they just put something like that on the driver's, or near the driver's head, and then they end up doing it. And I mean, I'd had that idea for so long. I don't know. Could have patented that thing and sold it to them. No, some drivers were getting hit in the head. Some drivers were just sustaining life-ending injuries because of the halo. Stuff would hit them, or they'd just have I don't think whiplash was a problem, but I know that halos have definitely saved a lot of these guys' lives. Glad they put those in. Actually, I do remember the first F1 race that I tuned into was the Las Vegas race. I can't remember what year it was. And it was right after the driver had just died in the wreck, and they called the race after that. Can't remember what year it was or who had died, but that was the first glimpse of an F1 race that I caught. A driver had literally just gotten killed, so that was definitely not a good sight for me to tune into. I was kind of confused because I was a little bit younger at that age. I think I was around 13 to 11, I have to guess, as I'm 19 now, so definitely not a good experience to see that happen. But what has happened to Luis here? Luis is 25 seconds back. So I don't know what is going on with Luis. He's going to go a lap down here very quickly. But we'll see guys pit within the next 5-ish laps, if I had to guess. You can definitely short pit if you wanted to. Some people will definitely short pit every now and then, as JD's still sitting in here. We'll go on board with Dylan Alt for roughly 2 laps. I was on board with Dylan Alt there for just a little bit. Looks like these guys have kind of not really made it 2 packs. They're still, like, these guys behind are just holding on. I believe that's 11 leading this pack down here. He's just kind of holding on to the draft as best as he can. Currently, Derek's kind of in no man's land. He's kind of between these 2 groups. As I will actually look up, what year was that? Let's see if... Oh, yep, so it looks like Karen's watching this, so it looks like the payout will be put on that. But let's ask Google. Hey, Google. What year did a Formula 1 driver die in Las Vegas? I'll have to see what year this is. Looks like Google will give me the answer. Looks like it was 2011. Dan Weldon is who I was thinking of there. I knew it was around that time, so actually I would have been 8 years old. Wow, that was a lot earlier than what I thought. I didn't think it was that. No, did not think I was that young, but evidently I was. These guys, they kind of decide to hop up middle lane. Garrett's going to try to go around Brady. He's going to have Dylan Alt shoving him. Let's see if these 2 trucks can get something going. They're really laying on each other, giving each other a bump. So they're actually being able to shove through the corner. They have that experience knowing when they can do it. You don't want to really be up on them the whole way. You can give them just a little bit. I think that's what they realize that they can get away with. Looks like I've made a vast mistake of about running out of water. Dylan's trying to get down in front of the 54. I believe these guys are they're just on the edge of the pit window. I had a feeling that they were going to do that. 42 and the 31 are all coming in. See if everybody gets in. Pit lane clean. Oh, yep, drivers wiggling hard on the brakes. Everybody's able to make it in, though. Looks like William Bertrand and Andrew Sanso all stayed out, so they're going to be the odd ones out. I think that was a good choice by them. Drivers will probably be taking fuel only, nothing else, no tires. You might have time to get tires, maybe 2 tires, but you don't really need to. It'd be kind of a waste of doing that. As actually, Haas, if you are watching this, I do not know if it is on Facebook or YouTube. Which one you're watching from? You just asked me a question. Do I do broadcast for racing leagues or just HSR? I do broadcast for other leagues. Have to see when these guys come down. Yep, they come down, but I do broadcast for other leagues. I'm actually do a stream every single night for a league currently. All of them are trucks. Kind of sad. I wish that I picked up a next gen, but I didn't have any reach out. I do love the next gens so much. I don't know what it is. I just love them. I hate the gearbox, but I love we can beat and bang on each other. I don't think the last time I drove trucks is months ago. But Andrew and William are out and away. We'll have to see where these guys come out on track. I think, yep, they're going to get lapped here very quickly. They're going to go actually pretty far back from these guys. But it was like a 4-truck breakaway. Surprised how this happened. May have gotten just a little better exit off pit road if I had to guess. I'm surprised that these guys are that spaced out. They're just on the edge of their pit window. Or not pit window, sorry. Making it to the end of the race. I think they saw, they're like, all right, we can go now. They saw that. See, these guys, oh Lord, they are, what, how did they get this far back? I didn't see anybody have a bad pit stop, but these guys are 10 seconds away from these guys up front. Something must have happened that was really big. Because there shouldn't be no way this gap is here, but there is. Oh, the 14 almost gets shoved down. Nathan almost went into the infield. I think the 5 tried to go down. Didn't realize the 14 was quite there. Had to bail out of that throttle. He could have been turned there very easily if he wasn't careful enough. We'll have to see, can these guys mount something up here, I don't see them being able to catch these 4 because these guys, they know how to run these super speedways. And I think Ian, he's kind of happy that he was able to keep touch with these guys, because if he wasn't, then he was going to be put in a very difficult position for sure. Sorry about y'all. Thought somebody had just hopped in this Discord and I had to check real quick. I swore somebody went in here. But, oh yeah, they're not going to catch this group up here. They're actually losing time, surprisingly. This is kind of weird to see. There's so many trucks in this group compared to the 4 that are up here. But these guys are just pulling away every single lap currently. I know that one thing they do not want to see for sure is a caution come out, because a caution will change everything here. They don't want to see that happen. They have a commanding lead over these guys currently. Wow. I am surprised that they're this far ahead. The 4, 13, 8, and the 6 are kind of all alone. I'm not sure what happened to Braxton to get that far back, because he might have tried to go to the back, and I guess he just lost the draft out of nowhere. That's the only thing I could think of that could have happened to him. But that was odd. Braxton doesn't normally do that. He races a lot here. Kind of in a position that if a caution does happen to come out, he will get the lucky dog. See, I want to watch I'll keep an eye on the 4. So he is 5.8 away from Ian Martin. We'll see if that grows within the next 2 laps. If it is, that means that he's probably going to be losing even more time to these guys. These guys, gosh, I don't know how this is. I guess this must just be talent, just utterly just showing over the guys in the back, because this is four trucks, and they're still pulling away. They have managed to pull away from these guys behind them, and that's just not something that you see here. And I know that they got in there pretty deep. I don't know. It's just amazing. Don't see a caution happen. I mean, only way I can think these guys can really get back into this is if a caution comes out, but I really don't see that happening here. Only place I can see is maybe here somebody tries to get up under each other, but I think they realize that they need to run these guys down in front of them, because if they don't get in line, then they're going to be in a difficult position. Gosh, I'm watching this clip back. This dude got destroyed. Near one of the high schools, he got absolutely drilled. People are calling for his suspension. Hopefully that doesn't happen, though. It's football, and you're going to hit each other hard. But, yeah, these guys are still continuing to lose time. The 4 has lost more time to Ian. Ian is in a pain position, I believe. I'm not completely sure. Maybe top 3 currently. Inside 10 to go. I believe the drivers will have just enough to make it to the end. I'm about tired with people who don't seem to have a brain anymore. I don't know how. It blows my mind on some of the stuff that I see. I don't even know where this is anymore. I'm trying to find something for you all here. I almost showed my desktop. But these guys, they're just not going to catch him. I mean, I think that it's really these 4. I mean, it's going to come down to these 4 up here. Now, who's going to go with who when it comes down to it, when money's on the line, drivers will make some moves that, like, I don't want to work anymore. I'm done with you. I believe I'll have to look somewhere else. Hopefully this dude's not getting slandered. I don't want to see anybody get stuff said to them. It's just not what I want to see. But Ian, Ian, he's got to hold on to this draft. No, he's seeing that Richie just slip away. He's like, man, please come back. I think he has it now. I thought he was going to lose it there for a minute. He's just going to be able to get, he's going to be able to keep it. Not sure what happened there. Might just be making little corrections. It's not staying directly behind them. See Braxton lap down. Andrew has some connection issues. I've noticed that with him. Notice that when he does race a lot of times, he does blink in and out. As I cannot even say anything about blinking one bit, because Lord knows that I'll tell a little bit of a story while these guys are here. Where has the 42 gone? I don't know where the 42s went, talking about blinking. There he is. Because he had connection issue, he got out of the way. He'll probably tuck behind Ian Martin. But, you know, talking about blinking issues, I used to have CenturyLink until I got the local internet provider, which is Point Broadband. In our area, they had ran fiber to our area, ran it up to our house, and then we got fiber optic internet. Luckily, cannot tell you how happy that made me when we got it. I'm able to stream and actually do races now without blinking in and out every 5,000 seconds. God, I hated that so much. Very glad about that. Y'all have a choice against CenturyLink or anything else. Do not get CenturyLink. It is god-awful. Slander them. I don't even care. They're terrible. Don't know how they're still in business, but they are. Looks like we are lucky on this stream, though the stream has managed to stay up the whole entire time. I know last time I did a Roku stream, it oddly had disconnected for some weird reason. But these guys are just not gaining on it. They're not losing so much time. It's just they're just not able to gain. I think that this is really the top four. That's who it's between right now. I don't know why that pulled that up there. But you see, he got a huge shove from Dylan Alt there. I'll get him behind the 54 again. You know, let's see. Coming to 5 to go, so this is where the race is really going to begin. It's going to be between these guys. Don't think anybody else really has a chance. I mean, 7 seconds back. I don't know why I said I think they're 7 seconds back from this main group, so it's pretty much done for these guys in the back. They don't have a chance. Ian does have a chance, so does Dylan. But Ian's getting behind Brady here a little bit. He's got to be really careful with that. And that 42 is probably seeing that. He's like, man, go. Go, man, go. Trying to give him as good of a bump as he can to get him up to that 54. He's still in the draft of the 54, which is the one this race. He's got it a little better now, but he's just hanging on it right now. Being very, very close with it. Oh, he about swipes the 98 there. Saw Ian a little bit loose. He just swiped the rear end of him. Don't think he would have meant to turn around if he happened to do so. But Ian looks like he's going to let the 42 go. I think he doesn't like being shoved like that. These guys got to sort out quickly. Looks like they hop up into that middle lane. Probably a call by Dylan Alt saying, hey, 98's trying to let me by, move up in that middle lane, help me get by him. Ian's got to hold on to this draft now as he does have a whiff of this. I can't believe I actually did a sniffing motion on Ghost Racing Network. Not Ghost Racing Network, in the Ghost Cup series race that we did here at Talladega. That was probably one of the weirdest things I think I've ever done. Never want to do that again. If anybody sees me do that again, tell me to stop. (31, 54, 42, 98, 4, 13, 6, 23, 14, 11. Your top 10 right now. I think it's really just these guys. I don't see anybody else coming to face them. I mean, that's just what it's going to boil down to here. These guys are they're so far ahead. I just don't see them being caught. I really don't. Now, unless the wreck happens, and that's going to change everything. They're going to be 3 to go when they come to the line. When will the 54 make a move if he does on Garrett Maines? Will the 42 make a move? Because one driver, they're going to have to go. It's I believe these all are paid positions. I'm not completely sure. Just trying to, kind of guessing right now. Not anything set in stone that's coming from me. So don't say, oh, I won some money when you didn't. And I said, oh, well, the broadcaster said it. I didn't say anything. That's not, never was said by me. Hopefully. As there's some stuff I say and I completely forget it about the next second. It's a race from my brain. These guys back here just been running in a line, just not able to catch them. I mean, they just really aren't now. These guys have been. Now, I would have thought that these guys, with as many trucks as they had, they'd be able to catch this group in front. They've actually lost time. Very surprised by that, too. They've lost time to the second group that's been up here. As I'll show you the groups that are on the track right now. You can see 3 distinct groups of trucks out there currently. As I'm surprised that I think I had figured out what was wrong with my PC. It was going into game mode and it was hurting some stuff. But Ian Martin's trying to go to the outside of the 42 of Dylan Alt. Not going to have any help with him. 54 is giving the 31 a really good shove on that back switch. You can see him just, he's like, yes, give it to me. Give it to me. Give me all you got. Going to be 1 to go when they come to the line here. Who's going to make their move? Or is anybody going to make a move? The 54, Ian Martin goes to the outside trying to side draft the 42. He's going to get a good run. Side draft him pretty hard. You can see him moving away as best as he can from him. What does the 54 and the 42 looks like? He blinks out. Oh, looks like Ian. Oh, he's still there. So white flags in the air at Talladega. It's going to be between these 4 drivers who takes home the most money tonight. Garrett, he's looking in his mirror. No, he's watching that 54. They could have came to an agreement like, I'm not going to wreck each other as they're really giving each other a bump. Now the 54 was laying it to that 31. What does the 54 do here, though? Does he just shove the 31? 42 is looking outside. So is the 54. They're going to leave Garrett Maines out on the bottom all alone. So Garrett Maines. Oh, Ian Martin comes down to the bottom. Surprised he does that. Gets Garrett Maines moving. Gives him a shove. This might be a finish at the line here. 54 is getting a shove from the 42. Garrett Maines is getting a shove from the 98 of Ian Martin. Ian Martin comes up just a little bit. Wiggling around. Drivers trying to give each other the best bump they can. They're going to make contact. It's going to be Garrett Maines at the line. They're 3 wide for third. It will be Dylan Alt. As that is not the right finishing order here on the side. Do not listen to what that thing is showing you. It's like SDK, I'll give it a refresh here. That's still not the right finishing order, so for some reason it doesn't want to show the wrong finishing order here. But what? As that is not, I believe SDK showing me something completely different here. But I know Garrett Maines won the race. Second is kind of up for grabs at that point. But Garrett Maines, he does win. I don't know why SDK is doing that. The second time it's decided to show a completely different finishing order on the race. Very weird. Like it's showing Kenny as a lap down when he obviously isn't. I don't know. I have to see what that is with SDK. Something very, very weird. It's still... Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, y'all. But no, Garrett Maines does take home the win tonight. So I'm not sure what that is. That is just very, very weird that it does that. Watch him do his burnout here. Just letting it burn down currently. He's getting a really long one here. I'm surprised he's able to do it sideways. Looks like we have a car that's glitched out in pit road. Yeah, but some car is glitched somewhere, actually. You may be able to hear that. Looks like a car is constantly wrecking for some odd reason somewhere on the track. See, Kerry Whitaker's down there also doing a burnout. Garrett Maines still going to burn it down. They would hold off all those guys at the line, so he's very lucky about that. He's doing a second gear burnout. There we go. Try to do a whole. Let's see if he's doing it. Is he doing it? Oh, man. I thought he was burning it down there. As that's who it was. It was Andrew who was glitching on the wall. I knew I heard a vehicle that was glitched somewhere. I knew that. So he goes and finds Andrew, hits him off of it, gets him out of the way. It's kind of getting annoying there. But we will pull up the race results. Hopefully the race results are correct because I know they're completely wrong. Yep, there it is. So I'll have to see what that is about because that is not correct. What we will bring in the 42 of Dylan Alt if he is in the Discord. As I will need. Wait, hold on. What? I don't know. I don't even know what this finish is. Well, I believe it was. Oh yeah, sorry. That is correct. I was kind of confused there. That is correct, though. For some reason, I thought Ian Martin got third. I thought somebody was showing third differently there. But we'll see if I can get Dylan Alt in the waiting room. I believe Garrett Main's still probably hopping it on his own because he does know when to get into it. He's been here before. See what is set up here. Yeah, I see Ian Martin there, so I know that he finished second. I was so thrown off from SDK showing something completely different. I don't know what that was. It's done that before too. So I'll have to see what that is. We're waiting for these drivers to get in the broadcast waiting room here. Looks like it was 3 wide for second, pretty much behind. Garrett Main's just kind of washing his rear. He's like, hey, all these guys are going at it. Y'all have fun back there. I don't have to really worry about you. We're still waiting for drivers to get in the waiting room. As we'll actually bring in the second place truck of Ian Martin. Actually, there's Garrett, so we'll do Ian first. Hey, Ian, this is Bryson Booth. Got a coffee, man?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, so you come home second. You were really lucky to come out with those guys on pit road. Describe that last lap for me, man.
Oh, my gosh. I'm shaking. I wasn't shaking last night when I won, but I'm shaking right now. Oh, man. All 3 of those guys were teammates, if you couldn't tell. So I was just along for the ride. I basically calculated that I was going to finish 4th. I had no hope. And then for some reason, Kenny and Dylan moved up, and I just railed Garrett in the back end and drove him as hard as I could. I was not lifting. He was either getting pushed across the line first or he was getting turned in the fence. So I pushed him as hard as I could. I'm more than satisfied with the second place. It's very challenging. That's the word I'm going to use. Challenging when you go against 3 guys that have collectively 15,000, 20,000 probably iRating. It's very, very difficult. Here I am with 3,800 and one against 3. I'm more than happy with the second place finish. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you were very lucky to come out with those guys because there was literally nobody behind you for 9 seconds. So if you would have lost the draft, you were in no man's land. But no, you come home second, crazy finish. Before I let you go, does anybody want to thank out any sponsors you want to shout out that may be watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, of course. I'd like to give a shout out to my primary sponsor, Ken Farmer at Hall Sheet Metal Heating and Air Conditioning out of Merced, California. Big thank you to him for supporting me. I'm glad I can get him in the podium once again 2 nights in a row. Heck yeah. And quick shout out to Braxton, Kevin, and Trevor for working together as far as pit strategy tonight. It worked out for me at least. You call it luck, I call it skill. That's one of my few strong suits is green flag pit stops. So I'm glad I was able to come out with those 3 and get the second place finish.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go, but good second place finish tonight, man.
Thanks, man.
As that was Ian Martin, the second place driver. We will bring in the third place driver now, so going out of order will be Dylan Alt. Hey, Dylan, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, so 3 wide at the line. You just weren't able to edge out Ian. But, describe that last lap for me, man. Like, especially coming off of 3 and 4 being in the position that you were.
Yeah, coming to the last lap, just randomly through the race, I've been having internet issues, and I never ever have internet issues at all that I've been on iRacing. Uh, so it came to a shock to me, just out of nowhere, just my ping would just skyrocket. I thought or my quality, I thought it was gonna just fall through the race, but coming to the last lap, it had to just come out during that last lap, and oh my god, I don't know what to say. But I tried to help Kenny. I didn't really want Ian to pass us and get second, or actually pass Garrett. I wanted all of us to finish 1, 2, 3. But it sucks that that couldn't happen because I don't know how that happened. I just went inside of Kenny's truck when I was trying to push him. Just my car just went right through him, and that was it. But I don't know what to say. I'm very surprised. Just speechless right now.
Yeah, man, iRacing always had some weird stuff. I know people had connection issues all throughout the race. I was wondering what was happening to you because I know that probably doesn't happen normally, but you were able to luckily hold on to third tonight, so not a bad finish for you. But before I let you go, is anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Coca-Cola, Steve Latar, Low Line Racing. Give me a follow on Twitch, alt_F4. Ryan Wright, Kenny and Brady, and Garrett Maines for helping me, and also my parents.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go, but good third place finish tonight, man.
Yeah, thank you.
As that was Dylan Alt, the third place driver. We had connection issues, able to come home third, though, as we will bring in the race winner and Garrett Maines. Hey, Garrett, this is Bryson Booth. You got a copy, man?
Yes, sir. What's up,
Man,
Bryce?
so Ian, that last lap, I thought he was going to turn you coming through the tribal, but, describe that last lap for me, man, especially going out of one or going into one. They left you out to dry, and then Ian actually kind of decided to hop back down and help you. But no, tell me how that went through your eyes on that last lap there.
Well, I can tell you this, as good of a job as Kenny and Dylan were doing pushing, Dylan's internet is not the MVP of the night. I don't know what was going on with that. He just pulled Kenny back as he glitched right through the back bumper. But definitely almost was complete disaster at the end, and I was hung out so badly that when Ian hit me, he hit me hard. And then I thought he was going to take it 3 and be able to pull off the W. But we got lucky there to be able to hold on to it, and I'm glad none of us wrecked because that was almost all of us when Dylan's internet started doing what it did, because I thought for sure we were just all going to die. That would have been very disappointing, but it was a lot of fun, and it was good to see it go green. I don't think I've ever been in one of these races where it actually ended under green. There's always something that happens in the last 5 laps, and then it all gets mixed up. But tonight, honestly, it all played out really well for us. So it was fun.
I know we've had some races here at HSR. They go green the whole entire way. I believe, I can't remember, I think it might have been Jason who's been in a couple of them. He's had to go through that. But, I was talking to Ian before I interviewed you. Ian actually told me I was going to lay it on Garrett Maines. It was either Garrett's going to go to the win or Garrett's going to get spun. So he was definitely not going to lift. And I saw him hit you, and I saw your rear end get so upset. I was like, oh, gosh, he's going to lay it to him. But you were able to hold him off. They were 3 wide behind you for a second, man. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the race or been watching the stream here tonight?
Absolutely. And to the point with Ian, I knew he wasn't going to lift. I knew it was I have to defend here without getting myself turned, because there was just enough space for him to fit it up the middle, and if I was not calculated, we were all going to die. But it was definitely good, and I got to give a shout out to ChevyLiners.com, Leaf Filter Gutter Protection, Lennox, MCU Body, Colleague Racing, Elliott Sadler Esports. Shout out to Dylan and Kenny there for all the good teamwork there and being able to break away on the pit stop that was executed beautifully, and thank you guys for putting it on.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good win tonight, though, man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
As that was Garrett Maines. So he does race in the Coca-Cola Series. I knew I saw him from somewhere. I believe I watched him do the Watkins Glen. I think a guy actually ended up turning him, and I was like, wait, that's Garrett Maines. He runs in this, but always fun to see him. I know that his dad will run sometimes also. That I believe it's his dad, Jason Maines. He runs with us sometimes, so it's always fun to see those guys work, but see that he had teammates with him. You heard Ian say, he's like, man, I'm going to lay it to you. If you get wrecked, so be it. I don't care. I'm not going to lift. Sometimes you got to have that mentality too. May not be the thing that'll make drivers happy, but you kind of got to do that. But Garrett Maines comes home first. I'll run through the starting order or finishing order here. Garrett Maines first, Ian Martin second, Dylan Alt third, Kenny Brady fourth, fifth Kevin Winker, sixth Daryl Young, seventh Kerry Whitaker, eighth Nathan Harper, ninth William Breton, 10th Brian Bussard, 11th Derek Raleigh, 12th Danny Eshelman, 13th Craig Harris, 14th Andrew Santo, 15th Braxton DeWeese. I'm not sure what happened to him. I have to figure out what that happened. 16th is Trevor Keith, 17th Kenneth Stamper, 18th is J.D. Larson, 19th P.J. Luttrell, 20th is Christopher McLean. That is all the drivers tonight, but a good race overall. Definitely coming down to the line. That was pretty cool to see them do that. But good race. HSR will be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what track. The 8 is the green flag is when that will happen. But if you are watching on Roku TV, if you don't mind hopping over on YouTube and subscribing to Ghost Racing Network, that is what we are streamed under. I don't normally do live streams because I don't have a spot there, but a spot was open tonight. So I saw that and I decided to take it. So HSR gets their second race on there as they are actually trying to put together a special Halloween race. So it'll be fun to see them do that. I have to get more info on that, and I will probably post that somewhere. But I will run these quick ads and I will let you all go. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow for the stream.